Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
Killer Kross set to return to MLW later this month. Kross, formerly known as Karrion Kross, now he's back to Killer Kross.
Okay.
Will be returning to Major League Wrestling later this month. During tonight's episode of MLW Fusion, it was announced that Kross would be there. What do you think? What are you making of this? You like Kross with the hair?
This is interesting. Looks like a weird, angry Randy Orton type, but he doesn't really act like that, though. I don't know what to think about.
Is it too late?
He doesn't look bad in this photo I'm looking at.
Is it over?
It very well could be because of his age.
Your opinion? He's pretty old. He's like 38, something like that.
It's going to be rough to attain the heights he wanted. So I would say odds are against him. To be fair, right? I mean, he's 38 now. What is he going to somehow pull a Diamond Dallas Page? Do you know how rare that was? What DDP did?
Right.
DDP became a world champion in his mid-40s after not even being a wrestler until...
And by the way, I kind of forget all those because I don't think I was even watching
DDP
that much anymore. I
was kind of special during the WCW time. I mean, come on. He was the one foil for the NWO.
He was the one. Very good.
And he was a great foil, too. How many times did you think he was going to join? And he diamond cut them or ripped their shirt off?
So let me ask you a question.
You know?
This is what I don't understand.
It's going to be hard for Cox.
Some of these wrestlers.
Yeah.
They changed.
It's going to be hard for Cox.
They changed. No, that's pretty funny.
I didn't even mean it.
That's very
funny. Oh,
but
oh my God!
I think to myself, like, the WWE changed Killer Kross to Karrion Kross because they don't want the name Killer, right, in their PG atmosphere. I get it. You can't have that. You can't have Killer Tim Brooks. You can't have that name.
Ripper. How about Ripper?
Rip is fine.
How about the Mauler?
Mauler's fine.
But Killer. Oh, wait a minute. That's Killer's
like, I'm a killer.
Right. It's basically Jason Voorhees. I got you. Okay, understood.
So,
boy, there's a fine line.
But my point is like, why is Kross going back to the name Killer? You want to market yourself somewhat. You're forcing yourself in a rabbit hole to only be working for smaller companies.
What would you have him call? He can't call himself Karrion. That belongs to the WWE. So what's he calling himself? Krusty Kross?
Is his real name Chris? Chris, right?
Christopher Kross?
Chris Kross.
They'll be yelling Chris Kross. Career over. Way to go, Mike. And if you call him Christopher Kross, you're going to expect him to be singing Riding Like the Wind. That's not going to work either.
Like
Christopher Kross.
And have what's the
now we're
song?
Getting somewhere. Now we're getting
I'm
somewhere.
I'm kind of digging that.
Now we're getting okay. Kind of a little cheesy, but why not?
Like
he might as well. He's already jumped the shark without jumping it.
I never understood like why he never caught on.
I don't. Look, what was happening with him and his woman in NXT was awesome. And then he came up to the main program and everything went ridiculous. I don't know. She wasn't with him, number one. There's too many.
Well, she revealed that they wanted her to wrestle. They didn't want her to be a manager.
Right.
They saw something behind it.
Right.
Gorgeous girl.
But that's a mistake.
Juice up.
Agreed, though.
Why couldn't she be a manager / wrestler?
I don't believe for 1 second you would have broke them up the way they were. You would have left them just the way they were because you do approve of the beast with the hot, beautiful
Dude, I think everybody...
It's always worked in wrestling. Leave it alone.
I think everybody didn't understand why. There's not one person that didn't want to see that entrance in front of 30 or 40,000 people.
Right. And you know what it also proved? Obviously, NXT was definitely more Triple H than Vince McMahon because in Kross's career in NXT, he was allowed to do a Goldberg as far as the booking.
Right.
But you know damn well, and we've discussed this 1,000 times, no one's ever going to get that booking on Vince's main program because if they get too big, Vince was going to have a problem. So I don't think Kross was ever going to succeed because you would have had to present him the same way on the main show where he's bulldozing everybody. It was Goldberg. Vince doesn't play Goldberg unless it's actually Goldberg. You understand?
I
you understand
agree.
What I'm getting at? There's no one outside of Roman Reigns that has gotten preferential, and don't tell me Randy Orton. He's lost to plenty of people. True preferential treatment on a consistent basis, Roman Reigns. He's always been there. He's the only one. Vince does not write like this for anybody else. Period. And that's his hand-picked boy. And there's reasons for that. Vince is a genius. He's eliminated the possibilities
do you think,
of an individual like a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Do you think they just didn't
dictate terms to him?
Did you think they just didn't think he was marketable?
How marketable was he anyway? Goldberg somehow was very marketable.
Goldberg was hugely marketable.
Right
Absolutely.
Time, but Killer Kross, what are you marketing?
I don't think that's where I think the problem was. They couldn't market him with Scarlett, but they thought they could market Scarlett. And I also think that they thought if we cut Kross, there's no way we can keep Scarlett. It'll just be too much.
And here's, at the end of the day, in NXT, Killer Kross, effective gimmick, not enough of an original idea to be able to sustain itself on a big program. Period.
Very interesting.
You got to have something new about your deal. You can't be too much like something from the past.
Very
you
good.
got to have your own deal.
Very good. He should have been like a gangster, mobster type of hitman.
Honestly, I would have just left him alone the way he was with his woman and have him usually beat up people, but not always. He could have at least been booked like a Lashley type, and it would have succeeded. Leave it alone. That's how I see that. Lashley has managed to become a very well booked, very well written, and recently protected, as we just saw with his injury, champion. So you could have done this with Killer Kross. Just don't oversaturate him. And what they never seem to do is let's say he came in and got the right push for 6 months, wins the belt, loses it after holding it for a couple of months. Go home for 4 or 5 months. We'll bring you back. Sometimes you pay for the investment of the storyline. You understand what I'm saying? It can't always be about, well, he's sitting at home right now and I'm paying him. No, he's sitting at home waiting for the next time he can effectively make you the money you want. So that's how I look at stuff like that. So, Killer Kross, man.
It's been This Week in Wrestling.